How the school can be more interesting for the children?
It's more interesting if the children can engage with it. If a child goes to school and is given something to do that is not quite right for them, then obviously they're going to lose interest. So if we can understand how they learn, and we can change our teaching approaches very slightly, it doesn't usually mean great changes, then the child wants to engage with it. For example, anyone whose first language was Bulgarian and was listening to me in English and didn't have very much English would soon lose interest. They would switch off, they would say, oh, I can't listen to this. And that's children in school. They start to listen, they try to listen, they even want to listen, but it becomes too difficult, so they switch off. And they don't work, they don't achieve, they get into trouble. So if we can understand how they learn and how we can make slight changes to the same curriculum, but it's the way that they interact with it, then school is much more interesting and, more importantly, motivating for the children. They're going to need the type of education that understands them, not a curriculum and this is how it's delivered and this is how you will respond to it. It's a curriculum that is delivered in a way they can engage with. So they need to know that they're going to go to school. If you imagine a child going to school and thinking on the way to school, I'm not going to be able to do the reading, the writing, then they're not motivated. So the child needs to get up in the morning and go to school happily, wanting to go to school, knowing that they're going to achieve some success.
Which are the key learnings you have based on your experience?
I like this question. What I've learned is I used to be a teacher. As a teacher, I taught children. When I went to the university and started doing research, I learned to listen to children and to observe children. So I think one of the key learnings I have now is that children need to be listened to. We often, meaning well, run around doing what we think is better for the child. If we would just sit down and say to the child, what do you find difficult? What can I do to make it easier for you? Then you're in a far better position to support them. And older children can tell you. They're able to tell you. Very young children don't know what's wrong, but older children can certainly tell you, this is how it's difficult. Maybe you could help me by doing whatever.